When Sharon and Mac and I first talked about this, and they came over, and Benson with them, my first statement, I think, was, I just really don't have any words of wisdom for this situation. But after they left and I thought about it some more, I thought, really, you don't need new words of wisdom. The whole idea of wisdom is that it's wisdom. It's the same wisdom in a crisis as it is in a time of non-crisis or prosperity. So the wisdom is really the connection between us. There's nothing new. There is nothing that I say or that any of the Dharma talks say that are not things you already know in your heart. And the main thing is that they resonate with you, that you respond to them because you feel the reality and the truth of them. And it's very important, I think, right now, to get down to sort of the core teachings. Always we've tried to stay with the core teachings, but for these talks that we're filming, and I want to start with the meditation that we just did and put on film some of the things that have been said about it before. It says mindfulness of breathing. It is taught by the Buddha, and it consists of some simultaneous behavior. The focus is going to be on your breath. This is done in silence and in stillness. Your breath is the marker for now. A definition of mindfulness is to be attentive, alert, aware in the present moment, non-judgmentally. So when we breathe, you are placing yourself in the now. Be here now. Because you only breathe at one time, and that is the marker for now, now, now. Each time we breathe, we're anchoring ourselves into the now. This is not to say that the when and the then don't exist. They do. But we want to stand in relation to the past and the future from a grounding in the now, in the moment. So you're going to be in the now, and the reason it's non-judgmentally is one of the things we've talked about, which is uncertainty and insecurity. You need to get out of your own head and let your mind do its own thing. Don't get in and manipulate. The minute you judge, you're manipulating. So if you're going to do a silent meditation, it needs to be without grasping or judgment. It is simply observing and witnessing whatever arises within your own mind. Which brings us to another point, which is the Buddha is teaching that where you place your mind is the direction of your life. That's a good sentence to unpack. Wherever you are placing your mind and your focus is your path. That's the direction your path is going to move in. So if you really want to know yourself, sit there and be quiet and see what actually just makes its own presence known to you. You can contemplate it later. That's another form of meditation. But for the moment, in doing mindfulness of breathing, you are witnessing non-judgmentally in the present moment by staying in touch with your breath. It has 4 parts, actually. First of all, it's very nicely done in Sanskrit, but it basically says, ever mindful, I know that I am breathing in. Ever mindful, I know that I'm breathing out. I am now in the now. Ever mindful, I am aware, attentive to how I am breathing. Because my breath is an indicator of my emotions and my thoughts. So that if we observe that we're taking long, slow, deep breaths just naturally, because this is all done with natural breathing, I didn't say that, but it should be, then you know you're relaxed and you're kind of in tune. If your breath is short and breathless and tense and nervous, it's indicating how you are. If you've been crying, you have a different breath, etc., etc. So you know you're breathing, that anchors you. You're alert as to how you're breathing. And then the third thing is, I feel my breath throughout my body. So that you actually begin to just see where it's going. Is it getting stuck here? If it is, that's not so good. But don't change it necessarily, just observe it, and it will change on its own. As you become attentive and alert, your breath will start changing itself. You breathe it all the way down. Don't breathe from the chest. This is a big mistake that the Western world made, was suck in your tummy and tighten your chest. This is it's not healthy. So breathe and feel your belly, feel it in your belly. Sharon has posted, and so has Jeff on the Ohochal Dharma page, the full-length body scan done by Jon Kabat-Zinn for mindfulness-based stress reduction. I cannot recommend it enough. It is incredibly powerful. And under the circumstances in which we're living, we now have almost a golden opportunity to do more meditation practice. Please do it. Check it out and do it. Now then, there is this meditation, which we normally do in class, or there are lots of guided meditations. The guided meditations you can find all over the internet, and they're beautiful. There are many, many different ones, so you can experiment, you can play around, and just look for them. This one, though, is self-trained, it's self-directed, it's self-focused. And what it does is it is taking you into your inner landscape, and you begin to find out what's going on in there. It's kind of interesting. There are a lot of interesting things that are happening within us. Now, at the end of our sessions, we have the metta, and that's a guided meditation. Personally, I think between these two meditations, we place our minds in places of self-knowledge, openness, we develop spaciousness, we develop a sense of gratitude. The metta meditation, the Buddha says, this is the sublime abiding. If you live in the space of metta, of loving kindness, you are living in a space of generosity, of openness, of kindness, of life itself. So both of these meditations are meditations, personal meditations, for the best possible well-being that you can experience, is to know yourself, to love yourself, and to expand that out into the world. So that was what I really kind of wanted to say about the meditations. Please try the meditation of Jon Kabat-Zinn while it's available. I couldn't find it for many years. It was off, and I didn't get around to buying it or anything. And then take the time to check out. So that is what I wanted to say about meditation. Meditation is a transition from the external world to the internal world. And it's not running away from it, and it's not denying it. Like sleep, it gives us the rest period we need to go between the two worlds. When we end with the metta meditation this time, please really try and be aware of how it makes you feel. It's a very, very emotional meditation. It has very deep roots into our own psyches. And if we actually embrace how it feels, it will keep opening us up. Right now, we're being asked to shut down. Metta meditation says you can open completely up. It doesn't matter if your body is shut down. We are not our bodies. With love, we open and open and open. And this is what we go back to the beginning when I said where we place our minds is the direction of our life. So if you make loving kindness or simple unconditional friendliness your ground position, what the Buddha calls a Brahma Vihara, a sublime dwelling, an elevated dwelling where our minds and hearts live, your life is going to be cast in a very, very positive direction. So there are 5 people in this particular meditation. The first is yourself. You always begin with yourself. You cannot give from an empty cup. So you work first on loving yourself, and then you move outward with an abundance, an overflow of that emotion. The second is someone you already love very, very much. The third is a neutral person. Someone that you maybe pass on the road and wave at, but you never really knew their name. You just know they live somewhere in your neighborhood. Or someone who waits on you. Someone with whom, you're familiar, but you're not intimate at all. The fourth is someone with whom you're in conflict. Someone that you either don't like or they don't like you. Someone you have a grudge against, living or dead. Might be somebody who's been gone for 20 years and you still can't let go of ill will. And so it's just someone with whom you're having a fight, whatever, somebody you're in conflict with. And the final one is expanded out to the whole world, to not only this world, but all other worlds. So each of these little well-wishings moves you out larger and larger and larger and larger and larger into space. And when you get all through, you kind of want to absorb the feelings that you get from that and try to carry them forward into your everyday life. So get into your meditative position, comfortable, balanced, centered, stable. Drop your shoulders, open your chest. To transition from outside and all this conversation to inside, just take a few deep breaths. Sharon will ring the chimes. To yourself, say to yourself, may I be well. May no harm come to me. May I live with ease, calm, and peaceful. May I be happy. Now bring to mind someone you love. Look at them, say their name to yourself, smile. May you be well. May no harm come to you. May you live with ease, calm and peaceful. May you be happy. And now to your neutral person. If you don't know his or her name, simply address them as friend. And say to them, may you be well. May no harm come to you. May you live with ease, calm and peaceful. May you be happy. And now we turn our attention to someone with whom we're in conflict. Take a moment. You've established feelings of goodwill. Continue them. Bring them to mind. Bring this person to mind. Look at them. Smile. And say, may you be well. May no harm come to you. May you live with ease, calm and peaceful. May you be happy. And then with another deep breath or two, we release that person. We put our hands over our hearts, symbolically to embrace all sentient beings everywhere. And we say, may all beings everywhere on this plane and all other planes be well. May all beings everywhere be safe. May all beings everywhere be free from suffering. May all beings everywhere be happy. And now, when you're ready, release your hands, open your eyes, check how you feel. Know that the truth at the heart of all creation is love. It's the most powerful force in the world. And if you abide by no other dictate than to be kind, you will be okay no matter what happens in the world. So now, please put your palms together. Go in peace. Go making peace. Living gently. Loving mightily. And bowing to the mysteries. Thank you.
Namaste.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Ruthie.